I'm going to read you a verse from a very famous song. It's a pop song done, I don't know, a few years ago. But listen to the lyrics. This is a perfect tie-in to what I want to talk to you about today. And it goes like this. In another life, I would be your girl. We'd keep all of our promises, be us against the world. In another life, I would make you stay. So I don't have to say, you were the one that got away. This, of course, was a very famous Katy Perry song entitled The One That Got Away. And she was talking about, or she wrote a song actually about her high school sweetheart and how he was the one that got away. They had all these promises, they had this amazing love life, and then something happened where it was gone. Don't know the whole backstory of it, but this actually ties into what I want to talk to you guys about today, and it's the term called alpha ghost. Hi, my name is Jared Schoonmaker. This is Magnetic Men's Club. I hope everyone's doing well. If you like this video, please put a comment down below. Hit like and subscribe. There's a lot of people that watch this content, but they're not yet subscribed. So if you could do me a favor. Now, the alpha ghost was actually a term coined by Rollo Tomassi, who has a very large red pill community following. I'm not going to tie this in too much to the red pill. I do believe in a lot of what the red pill ideas are, but I just want to talk about this term alpha ghost, or the one that got away. And it basically goes like this. There has been one guy that a woman always pines for. It could be an ex relationship. It could be somebody from high school. It could be somebody from college. There was just one guy that put such an imprint on her that all other relationships, whether she's conscious about it or she won't say verbally, she is comparing what she had with this guy to what she has right now. And so the question that comes up, how do you know if a girl is an alpha ghost or an alpha widow? And the second question is, should you even get involved? And so the answer is, most of the time, a woman who has been alpha ghost, she will bring up there was a guy in the past, or she will talk about an ex, maybe from a recent past or could be years ago. It will come up in conversation. Most of the time, it's not a good idea to actually get involved with a woman who's an alpha ghost, because she's never 100% going to give herself to you. Remember the movie Titanic? There's Jack and Rose, and the old lady was like 200 years old at the end of the movie, and that was Rose. And the last phrase that she said was, I lived a good life. My husband and I raised amazing children, but there was always a piece of me I couldn't give him and left for Jack. That is a perfect tie-in to an alpha ghost. There's this little piece of her heart she can never fully give you. And as a man, when we get into a relationship with a woman, we want her to give all of her energy and her love to us, or we expect it. And so when you get involved with a woman who's been an alpha ghost, it could even be a husband that unexpectedly died. She loved him. That's still her alpha ghost. It's very hard for her to move on from that. Is it impossible? No, nothing's impossible. But this is something you have to recognize. Do men have alpha ghosts? I would say the one that got away. I think men suffer from this as well. Maybe not the term alpha ghost, but men certainly suffer from this. There might have been a female in the past that, for whatever reason, things didn't work out, but you guys were a perfect match, but maybe timing was off. You had to leave the relationship. And then for whatever reason, you're always thinking about her. You're always maybe checking her DMs. It goes both ways, the one that got away. It's really hard to move on from this because you're stuck in nostalgia. You're stuck in the past. You're stuck in the what if. And what if that regret just lasts forever. That feeling of regret that, man, if I just did this, then maybe we could have been together and had an amazing life. It's always going to be with you. It's a sad thing. I've had this. I've had some past relationships where, by all intents and purposes, we were a perfect match, but the timing was off. And there's nothing you can do. Timing wins every single time. If the timing is not aligned, then the relationship has no chance. You can't force it. Back to this term with alpha ghost. It's very difficult to get into a relationship with a woman who has been alpha ghost. It's not impossible. The only way to actually break this alpha ghost mindset that she has is that you actually have to be even more alpha. You have to dominate her even more than her ghost to make her move on. And that's very difficult because most men, A, don't know they're battling a ghost. I mean, you're battling a ghost. It's very hard to do that. But most men these days just aren't masculine enough or have an emotional compass enough to understand that. And so you may have a great relationship with her, but it's not going to be very fulfilling. It's not going to be a very fulfilled relationship on her end. She's going to save a little bit of her for him. And the flip side, what if he does come back? What if a year you're into your relationship and maybe he was married and he just got a divorce and he comes texting her? Well, if her alignment with him was so on point and that relationship was so insane and so intimate, she's going to drop you like a bad habit and she's going to go to him because she does not want to live with that pain of regret. She will do anything she can for another chance at this guy. And likewise with women. If a girl from a past comes back and you're dating this guy and she comes back and everything in the relationship was intense and powerful and full of love, you don't have much of a chance either. They're going to connect again. And that's why this alpha ghost, or the one that got away, is so dangerous of being in a relationship with somebody who's had that or somebody who's experiencing that, because you just don't know where you're going to stand if this person comes back. And so what are a couple of things that you can do to maybe mitigate this? Honestly, the first thing to do is not get involved at all. I know it sounds horrible. I know it sounds very cold, but they need to work on themselves. They need to let enough time go by. It could be months, years, decades. They need to fully understand that this person probably isn't going to come back and that they have to be open to the idea of love again. See, when you break up, a lot of guys have this thought that if I went out with a girl or we dated for a couple years, that I should be able to move on after a month or two. She's always going to take space in your head. If you've dated for 2 years, I can guarantee you for the next 2 years, at some point, something's going to come up. And it's the same way with women. The longer you've been in a relationship, the longer time you need to process that relationship to fully heal. It's not just, hey, you should be good to go in a month or two. It's not how it works. Building that emotional connection with somebody, building that bond with somebody doesn't just break when you break up. Especially doesn't break when you had to break up for reasons that you can't control. There might have been nothing wrong with the relationship. Like, again, it was timing. There was a situation that was involved that you had no control over. So it's very hard to break that bond. Doesn't matter what people say. This is the reality. Staying away from people like this is probably the best thing you can do for you so that you don't get hurt. So again, if they do come back in a year or 2 years or 10 years, it really doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter. You're the one who's going to end up getting hurt in the situation. Another thing you can do is bring this up to them and say, hey, listen, I really think you still have this strong connection with this person. I like you. I want to move forward, but this is a problem. Give them the opportunity of the space to maybe say, yeah, I'm always going to love this person, but he's not coming back, or he wasn't good for me, or what have you. Making them recognize that this is real, that this is something that's a concern, so that they can parrot it back to you so that you can at least get some understanding and not hide it and not pretend it's not there, because it is there. So this is a very important lyric. When I heard this a few years ago, these lyrics are very important or very powerful, even from a silly artist like Katy Perry. Somebody that accomplished, somebody who could have any man she wanted in the world, she's still pining for this high school sweetheart she had. It's something to think about. My name is Jared Schoonmaker. This is Magnetic Men's Club. If you find this video helpful, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the video. If you're having problems in this area of maybe overcoming an ex or trying to get past the hurt, trying to get past the pain of a breakup, jump on a call with me. It's free, takes about an hour. Let's see if we're a good fit to work together. With that, have a great day.